Oh, this is really cool. I kind of like it. It's really original. But this line is critical. So e4, f4, pawn takes f4. He has other moves he can play, but they don't scare me because I have a huge like central space advantage. You control the white squares. Um, so e4, f4, pawn takes f4. I don't mind. Rook takes f4. I don't mind. G takes f4. I don't mind. Takes on e4. I don't mind. Do I mind g4? No. So e4, f4, pawn takes f4, e takes f4, e5. If pawn takes e5, we're sacking a pawn. Um, sacking a pawn. But we have great sort of control. I'm going to try this. I mean, this is creative, so let's do it. Instantly moves, you know. Now here it's not forced to do what I'm talking about. I'm not certain it's the best move. Pawn takes f4. War of Ideas. I've also chosen to mute my sound, so please type in all commentary while playing Bullet. Yeah. You guys are really funny. Well, I'll let my typist type it in. I'm sure that one of the other players here will be happy to type in everything I say. Um, Pawn takes f4. I was looking for that e5. I like it, you know, but he could play g4. Pawn takes f4, e takes f4, e5, g4. Yeah, but I mean, even that is interesting. I still just sack a pawn. Let's try it. If we lose, we lose, but at least we'll get an interesting game. I think this is a valid piece. Sorry, pawn sacrifice. Open all the lines. I mean, for our pieces, you know, get maximum pressure. This looks interesting. You know, I don't think that this can possibly be wrong. You know, I don't think he should give us this option. But he just moves instantly every single move. Um, Now, positionally, we have like compensation for the sacrificed pawn. Bishop h7 check, king h8. You know, as much as I'd like to do something like that, it looks a little bit like a fantasy. Um, I know that like computers might have it, you know, like bishop h7 check, king h8, knight e4. Wow, that's wild. Like knight e4, with the idea of king takes h7, knight takes g5 check, and like mate. But you know, is it safe to leave my pieces just hanging out down there? Does he have any intermediary moves that might be dangerous? But it looks awful dangerous for him. Bishop h7 check, king h8, knight e4. Let's try to create something wonderful here. And not just gonna waste our life away playing ordinary moves. This looks, it looks like the kind of thing that chess players who aspire for greatness are supposed to do. Bishop h7 check, king h8, knight e4. Now, unfortunately, if this guy has some sort of computer program or something like that, I may be like toast, you know. But what can I do? His knight on a6 absolutely out of the game. He should consider a plan like knight c7, knight e8, but does he have time here? You know, he doesn't have any time. Queen a5 check, we just play king f1. We could also play knight on f to d2 if he did some weird queen a5 check. I'm a little concerned about this queen a5 check, king e2, I guess. There's checks with like g4 and stuff like that. Hard to believe that queen a5 check is anything. So, g4. I thought this was like helpmate. I mean, is this not like helpmate? Knight h4. This is like not a literal helpmate. I'm afraid that there's some. I'm afraid that there's something I'm missing here. But it looks good, you know. D. Howard just relies on moving instantaneously. I don't think anyone in their right mind would play this way with black, to be perfectly honest. You know, this guy is kind of a genius, but he's also kind of crazy, I think. Because we had a couple games where he was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde so far. Actually, I annotated one of them on my YouTube channel. Now that I think about it, I should be telling you guys about that. The game is a 15-minute post-mortem on my YouTube channel, Video Chess Training. Check it out. This was a game where I lost with black. I played interesting line in symmetrical. I think actually Espresso Forever saw that and maybe he didn't. I'm not sure, but I know he's interested in the symmetrical English. This is a game I lost in a line I've had some trouble with, but I analyzed it in depth on the YouTube video, and it looks like I was fine. Like Dihar just played fast, and then in a drawn endgame, I let it slip. So then when he lost, it was really ugly. When he lost with black against me in another game where I played the English, he got absolutely smoked, um, just really crushed. So it's kind of like it's a player. He's got a very respectable 15-minute rating here. I mean, 2200 plus is like IM strength. So I don't know what to think about this guy. As I said earlier, he's hard to pin down. There were moments when I thought maybe he's using a computer program. He's moving so fast, you know. But then he makes a lot of random and weird moves too. So then nah, it's not a computer. It's got inconsistencies in the rating. So I thought, well, maybe it's multiple players. But he is a total master of chaos. Because this is crazy. I mean, Black's just inviting me for some kind of like study like mating net here. I don't think that Black can defend this. I mean, we didn't actually talk about the main ideas in this position here. So bishop f6. Okay. Well, okay, if I play knight to g6 check, he takes my bishop. I take his rook with check. If he doesn't recapture, I mean, I'm going to put the knight on e6. So at the I know on the other hand, I could play knight takes f6. But then I have a problem after rook takes f6. I'm not sure I have a follow-up. So I think we have to do knight g6 check, king takes h7, knight takes f8 check. And he's actually, you know, got to play king g7 there probably. Knight g6 check, king takes h7, knight takes f8 check, like king g7. When he's down the exchange for a pawn or two, this has to be, I was going to say this has to be good for me. I think it has to be good for me. And then I play like knight f5 or knight e6, and it gets rid of his dangerous white square bishop. So I don't know. I mean, this has got to be good for me. He plays king g7 right away. Okay, that I didn't really consider. I don't think it matters. I mean, he's just making fast moves. I guess at this point I have some ideas with like knight takes c5. Knight takes c5. I'm a little bit reticent to let him like off the hook, you know. Yeah, I should keep this as simple as possible. Knight takes f6, queen takes f6, castle's queen side. because I'm going to lose on time. And I don't see anything really concrete. I could castle queenside first. There's actually no rush. Why do I have to rush to take his bishop on f8? That's right. True. This is just thinking out loud. I guess I'm nervous though if he moves away, like what I'm gonna do. Like if he moves his bishop back, if I castle queenside, he plays bishop d8. Am I really worried about that? Yeah, I mean it's hard to believe. I'm gonna castle queenside. But time is the issue, isn't it? This could be a gold coin game, says Espresso Forever. Yeah, this guy's purely playing for the clock now. But I'm still leaning toward simplifying this. Bishop to d7. Now knight takes c5 is even more scary looking, but I don't think it's going to work. I think we need to simplify here. Knight takes f6, just for the sake of practicality. I just don't have time to mess around. Maybe rook h5. Rook h5. Or bishop e4. Bishop e4 with the idea of rook h5 and doubling on the h file. So rook h5, knight e8, rook doubles. Let's go for this. Maybe he'll play bishop e8. Then I have rook f5. Why don't I play d6 in some positions too, actually? So what's the material count? He's got a pawn for the exchange. I mean, this should not be enough. d6? Anybody? d6 might let him into, getting his knight in d4. So, bishop f5, rook e1. What do we want to do here? d6, queen c3. Let's go after that pawn. Yeah, I think this is going to be the key move to keep him tied down, the base of his pawn chain. Guys, let me know if the audio is okay, and if you guys don't like the board, let me know what kind of board is best. It's a very personal thing, the chessboard you use playing chess online. It's as close to as you get to religion in chess, I guess. So, now if he plays rook e8, I double on the h file, it looks pretty grim for him. You could also think about moves like g3. I'm not in love with that, with my king a little bit open. The g3 doesn't look dangerous, but I kind of need to act fast. d6 now. d6 now. And knight e6 will drop the key pawn on e5. He has no good square. So this should be a win. If knight a6, rook d5, bishop c6, there's all sorts of things going on here. And this should be a winning position for me. It's just a matter of time now. Audio is good. Knight e6 dropping the pawn. Alright, now it's just a matter of practicality. Maybe this was a mistake, but I don't see why. If king f6, we have multiple moves. Rook f5 check or rook d5. Just think materialistically at this point. I'll play f3 if I have to solidify